6 June 2025, and today is a Friday, one of the biggest news days in Zimbabwe. And today we have a lot of news. You're going to see a lot of me today because we are entering one of the most important 2 weeks of our country. So let's start and move very quickly and do not waste time. Let's start with Chiwenga. So you know that the cell phones of Chiwenga were stolen. And what they did is they waited for him to leave Zimbabwe to go to Tajikistan. On the day that he left, there was a break-in at Chiwenga's offices or Chiwenga's business at Bordo, Semlevi village. And a bizarre thing has happened yesterday. Unbelievable what has taken place with the Chiwenga's phones. You won't believe this, even a book can't come up with such a crazy story. So there were 4 people involved in the initial report. That is Blessed Luciano, Isaac Craig Chaza, Strive Matangira, and Succeed Mukaro. So what has happened is crazy in that the other 3 people were basically not there. So it has now come up that these 3, Blessed Luciano, Isaac Craig Chaza, Strive Matangira, were not there during the robbery. And the only person who was there, according to what was heard in court yesterday, is Succeed Mukaro, an 18-year-old from Domboshava. So Succeed Mukaro has already pleaded guilty, has been convicted, and is going to be sentenced today. That is a world record. A world record in Zimbabwe, where someone is arrested, convicted, tried, and in one day they're going to be thrown in jail. So what is happening here is what we call a cover-up or a fall guy. Succeed Mukaro is a fall guy, an 18-year-old boy going to be thrown in jail for an operation that went wrong. So let me now unpack for you the story that was given by the police in jail, in court, what they said in court yesterday. So I'm going to unpack for you the story. Let us read what it says. So Provincial Magistrate Miss Etho Chichera convicted the men that stole the phones. Succeed Mukaro pleaded guilty to unlawful entry and is in custody until today for sentencing. Prosecutor Miss Polite Chikiwa said on 31 May, so 31 May is when Chiwenga and Mini left for Tajikistan. And on 31 May at around 3 o'clock, Osishone, the supervisor of the shop that is in Borodo, Harare, knocked off and secured the property by closing all windows and locking all doors. He took the keys with him. On the same day at around 7:30 p.m., Mukaro proceeded to the complainant's shop and blocked the front glass wall to gain entry. And he stole the phones worth $15,000 and went away. On June 3, detectives received information that some cell phones were suspected to have been stolen, were being sold in Harare Central Business District. Detectives located Blessed Luciano, a cell phone dealer. They managed to recover some phones from him. It was established that the cell phones were part of the complainant's stolen property. They interviewed Luciano and indicated that he bought the cell phones from one say Isaac Craig Chaza. On the same day, detectives posed as potential buyers and lured Chaza. He came in the company of Strive Makangira, and the detectives also recovered some phones from him. The detectives interviewed Chaza about the source of the cell phones and indicated that Mukaro had given him to sell on his behalf. Chaza and Makangira led detectives to Joina City Mall, where Mukaro was arrested. They also recovered some phones from him. More phones were recovered at his place of residence in Domboshava. So this is crazy. What I can tell you is that this is a cover-up. This was an operation. And the actual phones, what number of phones, how much were they sold for? Between the 31st, so the 31st was a Saturday, and the 3rd was a Tuesday. Between that time, what happened to the phones? Where are the phones that have been recovered? Were the phones in use, or were they for resale? You see, that detail is not there. There is no court that is going to have such a strange case like what you're seeing here. And what I can tell you is that besides stealing the phone, you probably have bugs put in that shop so that they can listen to everything that is being said in that shop. This is the culmination of a big fight between Chiwenga and Mnangagwa. I cannot even doubt who is behind this theft. This is Mnangagwa, and the Mnangagwa faction is desperate. They want information, and they're going to get it through the phones. They're going to bug the shop. They search everything. They had all the time. Imagine, who knows Sam Levy? That place is secure. I think it's as secure as possible. There are security guards. If you were to go right now, there are security guards. There is no one who's just going to cut a glass and go away. Who discovered that the glass had been cut? That detail is not there in this particular case. And I can assure you that the young man that has pleaded guilty and who's going to be sentenced today is just a fall guy, or one of the guys, the operators inside this whole case, who was part of whatever they were trying to do. They had to make sure that Chiwenga was not in the country. This was not going to happen if Chiwenga was in the country. They had to make sure that he had left. And as soon as he left, they did what they wanted to do, which is to break into Chiwenga's shop and harvest information and also plant stuff. If you go in there right now, you're going to find some listening devices right there, because they believe that Chiwenga is up to something. They suspect him, and they want to make sure that they get as much information as possible. This is a bizarre case. Nothing of this sort has ever happened. They want to kill this case, but a one-day trial and conviction, that is taking it too far. And who is this judge? Let's see who is this judge. Ethel Chichera. Who is Ethel Chichera? And what else has she been involved in? Let's look at Ethel Chichera. Judge Ethel Chichera. Ethel Chichera sentenced Prosper Bizweki. Who is Prosper Bizweki? This is crazy. Google this magistrate. You will see the kind of cases that she's involved in. I've got no doubt that you're going to find something interesting about her if she's involved in this case. So, come on, guys. Look at her. So, Harare magistrate, Ethel Chichera, has sentenced Prosper Bizweki to 3 years imprisonment after convicting him of forging the title deeds of former cabinet minister Zingai Mtumbuka's house, which was fraudulently sold in 2021. She's involved in a prominent case here. And what else do we have? What else has she been involved in? Guys, this is crazy. You're watching a movie right now. You're watching a big movie. Something is about to happen, and it's going to happen in front of your eyes. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much time on Ethel Chichera. There are a lot of things that are going to come out here. She is involved in a lot of high-profile cases. But what I can tell you is that there is a cover-up taking place. Chiwenga is under intense investigation. He's being investigated like never before. And the outcome is going to be very, very bad. Pacha Pisa Paharare. Now, let's quickly go through the news. I want to take you through other news that is taking place. So the first thing that I want to do is want to go back to Mediforum Chiwenga. So let's go back to Mediforum Chiwenga. So you know that Mediforum Chiwenga has got a musician, and her musician is called Sebastian Magacha. So Sebastian Magacha had a collaboration with Mediforum for their school, and I've shown you guys the music here sometime last year. So today, Sebastian Magacha is featured. He has appeared in court yesterday. This is for failing to take care of his daughter. So he's got a 6-year-old daughter with another woman. He's currently married and has got another 3-year-old child. I don't know if it's a boy or a girl. However, Sebastian Magacha's ex-wife or ex-girlfriend, whom he met in 2018, is seeking $250 maintenance for the child plus school fees, as he said that the musician has not been taking care of the child. So this is another case that is closely linked to Minnie. That is one of the people that did music for her. So let's see what happens to Sebastian Magacha. Are you going to pay? Do you have money or are you broke? Let's see what happens over there. Pakaipa guys, don't have children if you can't take care of them. It's crazy. Then let's go to key events for today. In a few hours' time, Mnangagwa is going to be addressing over 5,000 war veterans. These war veterans are going to descend on Harare from all corners of the country. There is a big fight between Mnangagwa and Chiwenga that involve war veterans. War veterans that support Chiwenga are under siege, and war veterans that support Mnangagwa are getting millions in terms of support. So Paul Tungwarara is currently dishing out money to war veterans that support Mnangagwa, while those that support Chiwenga or those that are seen as supporting Chiwenga are being hammered. So yesterday already, I talked to some people. An eviction order was given at Stone Ridge. Yesterday, last night, a bunch of letters were just thrown out, and war veterans at Stone Ridge were told to leave immediately. Pakaipa guys, told to leave their houses because they're going to be demolished. So you'll see today, there'll be something big because these guys are seen as Chiwenga supporters. And let's see what happens to the guys at Stone Ridge. All the war veterans told to leave by Monday. And let's see today what is going to happen. Is Chiwenga going to show up? Is Chiwenga even in Zimbabwe? What is happening? Where is Chiwenga? It's almost as if Muruku Dilane Njuzu. Njuzu Aioneki. So he is gone. Chiwenga is gone. He's somewhere where you can't find him. And Mnangagwa is moving around by himself. Today is addressing those war veterans. His son today is fighting with Munyaradzi Shoko of Kozwa. If you go into the Newsday newspaper, Munyaradzi Shoko is accusing Emerson Jr. of forming a new war veterans association to compete with the Children of Zimbabwe Liberation War Veterans Association members. So that is today, massive fight taking place, and everything is about to come to a head. You're going to see something very big in ZANU-PF. ZANU-PF is engaged in a dog-eat-dog fight, or a cat versus dog fight between Chiwenga and Mnangagwa. These two guys will never sit on the same table again. You never see Chiwenga and Mnangagwa on the same table. One of them will have to fall. And my belief is that Mnangagwa is taking out every gun that he's got. He's going to gun for Chiwenga, and if Chiwenga doesn't move, he's going to be removed unceremoniously. Now, let's go to Botswana. President Duma Boko has arrived in Las Vegas. So that is President Duma Boko arrived in Las Vegas. What an amazing president. I like this president. He's doing a lot. So President Duma Boko is going to be presenting at a function for diamonds. And this is, he says, proud to represent Botswana at JCK Las Vegas through our historic partnership with Rob Report. This is a powerful opportunity to share our diamond story, attract global investment, and reposition Botswana as a leader in sustainable luxury. This is because people are not buying diamonds, and Botswana is being hammered. The economy of Botswana are going through the most. And right now, if you take the economy of Botswana and the economy of Zimbabwe, the only thing that you don't have in Zimbabwe is a good president. We are getting to a point where Botswana is now going to be worse off than the Zimbabwe economy. That is crazy. Guys, a few years ago, you could not have said what I'm saying now. The Botswana economy is going through the deficit is expanding. They've run through all the money that they had. Botswana no longer has money in their bank. And as we speak right now, they've approached OPEC. They've also approached the United States for assistance. Remember, I showed you that they approached South Africa for assistance a few months back. So as of today, they've also approached the World Bank. And this is bad. It's terrible. Ahead of, and President Mnangagwa has to deal with this because the diamonds revenues have gone to nothing. So diamonds is all the revenue that Botswana has got. Look at this story. So debt spirals. Government 3 billion away from domestic debt limit. So they've passed the domestic debt by 3 billion. They spent 6 billion in 3 days, and they've approached OPEC and World Bank. The United States is refusing to meet them over tariffs. Botswana is going through the most, and it's unfortunate. This situation is very, very bad in Botswana. Now let's go to Sam. Let's stay in Botswana. The Newspaper Publishers Association of Botswana has slammed President Mnangagwa. They say whatever I said about them is lies. So all the newspapers in Botswana have issued a statement today to say President Mnangagwa must stop what he's saying about the press, that 99.9% of what they write is lies. Why would President Mnangagwa say that? I think that was crazy. But that is what is happening. He said it, and the newspapers have all come out and issued a statement to say that is lies. Okay, he's lying about their lies. Then let's go to Zimbabwe. The Chamber of Mines have issued a statement. They are congratulating, a whole bunch of companies have issued statements congratulating the new Chamber of Mines board. So that is the president, John Msekio from Zimasco, Mr. Fungai Makoni from, I think that's Mimosa, and then Mr. Mnangagwa from Kuvimba Mining House. That is the vice president, and you've got the second vice president over there. That is Chiwenga and Mohadi of the mining Chamber of Mines over there, but I don't have a mask. So those are the new people that are leading the Chamber of Mines. If you go into the newspaper today, there are more than 20 adverts congratulating these guys, the new Chamber of Mines. And what is happening with mining in Zimbabwe is that it's doing very, very well. And this is going to be the foundation of our economy going forward. Now let's go to the Bankers Association of Zimbabwe. They've also put in place a new board, and that is the Institute of Bankers of Zimbabwe, IOBZ. That is Mr. Tapera Mshoriwa, is the chairman, and Mr. Elisha Chivuri is the vice chairman. Go check it out there. And then obviously, you've got the president here, Sibongi Lemoyo. What an amazing lady. Did you see her CV? That is the CEO of Nedbank Zimbabwe. She's amazing. Go check it out in the Independent newspaper. Now, let's quickly go through some newspapers. Which newspaper do I want to look at today? Let me start with the Herald, if they published. So the first story that I gave you was from the H Metro. H Metro doing very, very well. And they're covering this page, the story of, what's his name? Sebastian Magacha. Now, let's go to, I want to go to Newsday. Or in fact, let's go to the Independent. This story makes me very sad. So what has happened is that Kariba is not doing well. And a lot of companies are leaving Kariba. However, Kariba Bay is being sold. So African Sun, which is listed on the Victoria Falls Stock Exchange, is going to be selling Kariba Bay Hotel, one of the most expensive hotels in the country. I can't believe how expensive that hotel is. I went there with my family to stay there. And I think we spent $200 a night, if I'm not mistaken, for a room. And then went to breakfast and dinner. And dinner was was $50. Breakfast was like $20. Guys, you can't live in Kariba for more than 2 days when you live at Kariba Bay. So they're closing. No, they're not closing, they're selling. So they're selling Kariba Bay. They're also selling Munumutapa, Crown Plaza, Munumutapa in Harare. So that is a big opportunity. If you've got money, go and buy those things and reduce the price, do something so that more tourists can come. People are not coming to Kariba because of the price of rooms. It's so expensive. It's even worse in Victoria Falls. I've got a friend who went to Victoria Falls and they were going to eat in Zambia. That is how bad it is. It's crazy. I can't believe it. Yeah. So that is one of the biggest problems, and also the crash of tourism in Zimbabwe. Tourism is crashing because of the roads. So go check out that story in the Zimbabwe Independent. People don't want to drive their cars and lose their tires and die on the road. So they won't come to Zimbabwe. So tourism is crashing in Zimbabwe because of these problems. Then in terms of a featured picture, there are these ladies here. They're in the H Metro newspaper. I do not know them. So I've never seen them. But how amazing are they? So that is Shelley Sadomba. Guys, who is Shelley Sadomba? She is amazing. She's got amazing friends. Do you know what these over 40 women? Vachati pizza. Vachati pizza. Mupera man. Mupera nima over 40s. Vanopisa semoto. So that is a picture which is featured inside of the H Metro newspaper. So Shelley, call me and give me your friends' names. Todakuvaona Dindanani, Vanopisa, Vanopisa. Apparently, she's got a mansion and she was celebrating a birthday. And then inside of the Chronicle newspaper, Gerard Mlochwa is leaving the SRC together with Ketsi Coventry, and also the whole board of the SRC is leaving. So we're waiting for a new board. This guy is married to Mnangagwa's daughter. And he's also running all the newspapers in Zimbabwe. That is the Zimbabwe Independent, the Newsday, Currency Shikamag. All those newspapers that were with Trevor Ngome were bought by this guy. HSTV, Yana, Blessed Mnjanja. They all belong to this guy. This guy is the boss. He also runs the law firm, Titan Law, with his wife, Mnangagwa's daughter. So they are on top of everything inside the country, and these guys, they are what we call Zvigananda. Zvigananda, the bosses of the country. Let's see what's in the Herald newspaper today very quickly. I haven't had a look at it. So Herald Zimbabwe, are you alive? Are you there? Let's see whether they've published. Still sleeping. Let's look at Chronicle Zimbabwe. Guys, if you don't publish your newspaper by this time, you are dead in the water. Do you know how many newspapers are there in the world? Like in front of me, I've got over 500 newspapers. In the Wakarara Nation newspaper chako. by 5:30, you still haven't published. That is crazy. I don't believe it. Let's look at the Chronicle newspaper, which is published. Good job, Chronicle newspaper. So here is the Chronicle newspaper of today. They're starting with the story of the death of Zambian president, former Zambian president, Edgar Lungu. So Edgar Lungu died in South Africa. Probably we'll go and check out today what's happening, where his family is. So I'm going to look for the family and we'll talk to them here in South Africa and see. And then Mnangagwa with his friends, Delisha Ngwaya, over here. And do you know that that guy who's guarding Mnangagwa is his brother? That one wearing the Air Force uniform. Did you know that it's his brother? So now, Sean on the right, you see Sean is cut there. And the guy there, it's like Mnangagwa is being guarded by family members. And then let's see, a woman 104 years old loses property in Kendo fire. Very sad, Gogo. Guys, help. Wikino, Fona Gogo. And then Mlochwa leaves SRC, the story that I just gave you now, over here. Let's see if B Metro is published. B Metro can newspaper can say quiet. Can you get newspaper? Bulawayo babes, top guzzlers. So Bulawayo women drink beer more than their fathers. That is what this is saying. And then there is a big story here where Kuda Mahachi has been ordered to pay $250 maintenance while he's awaiting the actual DNA tests. I want to see this story about Bulawayo women drinking beer. Let's see what that story is. I don't want people who just say, yeah, there. Bulawayo women have been crowned Zimbabwe drinking champions. So I don't agree. I don't agree. Bulawayo women are not drinking champions. So guys, let me stop here and tell you what I'm going to do. So because you Harare women are not drinking enough, today, any Harare woman who buys anything at our shop, so you go to Angwamo and there is our agent there. Any woman who buys anything from our shop, even if you buy a cell phone, a cable, we are going to give you 2 beers. So go over there, 2 beers for free. Harare women, you're not drinking enough. That is crazy. I can't believe it. Could Bulawayo women are not drinking. Harare women are not drinking. So go over and get a free beer today for free. And we've got some of the most interesting beers. So that is the story here. If you know, you know. Bulawayo women, and you know what happens when a woman drinks, and it becomes crazy. I know Baeta say mkadzi wa Farao. If you didn't know, stop kupa mkadzi doro. Anita zosemesa. Tamba man, give them beer. Don't say I told you this as a trick. So there are certain beers. Let's go to other newspapers. What else is here in this newspaper? Nothing. Nothing. Guys, go and read this newspaper. They've done a good job, but I can't read all of it. So go and check it out. Queens of the drink. That is Bulawayo women. Very interesting story over here. And then let's see if there is another newspaper. What newspaper I looked at? I'm so sorry that I can't do the Herald newspaper for you, because I know that's where Mnangagwa story and the war veterans is. So I don't know what they're trying to do. Don't they want Mnangagwa to be known that today he's busy with the war veterans? So I'll be back here so that I can show you guys the story of the Zimbabwe war veterans. And also, Mnangagwa is going to be big. Today, you're going to see if Chiwenga is in Zimbabwe, he can't avoid this one. He has to come. If he doesn't come, it's even worse. It's going to be an even worse situation. So now let's go to our lead story. We said there's a massive cover-up. 3 of the 4 people who were arrested for stealing Miniotabo's phones were not present. So they just were found with the cell phones. However, the one guy who is being said was there has already been tried and convicted in one day. It is waiting trial today. That's a cover-up. They don't want anything more on this story. It's not clear how they entered the door. Where was the guards? How many phones were stolen? Were the phones used or not? All that information is not there. I can tell you one thing myself. They wanted to find out something on those phones. They wanted to know if Chiwenga is doing something, and they were going into that shop. Someone told them something and they thought they'll find it. So first they had to wait for Chiwenga to leave Zimbabwe to do it. That's why they did on the 31st. Chiwenga achingo udam Zimbabwe. Machiro shop. Then Stefani said the shops were being sold, the phones were being sold. Yes, of course. They will say that. How many phones were stolen? Were they used phones? Do you understand what I'm saying to you? When you steal a phone, you can go into that phone now and you can do a lot of things to it. Now that I give you back the phone, are you going to be able to use it? What have I put on it? Guys, this is crazy. Do you know who is Chiwenga? Chiwenga is a former military general. If someone, any property at Chiwenga is a national security key point, you can't just walk there because the moment you do that, it means the country is under threat. I used to be angry whenever I missed one of your projects, but nowadays it's better to miss because you're spreading people. Yes, call it passing away, Zoro. If you don't watch Gambangwe, what are you going to watch? Zimbabwe. Mr. Copy and paste, yes, Dumingweya. We copy all our thoughts and they infect the whole country. Fake news. What information did you get from new phones? How do you know they're new? James, who told you they're new? Tell us what you know. Were the phones new? Were the phones used? Do you know? Was it said in court? That's what I'm asking you. Dig deeper. Do you think they went there to steal phones? What have they put in that shop? Do you even know what is CIO? Mnangagwa. So guys, I want you to think deeper. Do you think someone would wait for Chiwenga to leave if they were just stealing phones? Come on, think harder. If I wanted to steal Chiwenga's phones and I didn't know who Chiwenga's shop was, do you think I'll wait for him to leave? The reason why they waited for Chiwenga to leave is simple. If Chiwenga was in that country the day those phones were stolen, paifiwa that day. Paifiwa kuba mushop ya Chiwenga ari muZimbabwe panofiwa. Izvi zvakatora 3 days. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, that's a good 4 days of investigating. If Chiwenga was there in that day, they were just going to get all the army onto it and the pie fewer. So they had enough time and say, we're investigating. Dara Muruta Jiskan. No, three busy now. We're busy with it. We're busy Chiwenga. I should download my phone Ake. So that is true. That is what happened. You are going to see it's going to be worse. Kwanzi, Gambako is gone. Aka broker, no Mve. Yeah, let's talk about Mve. So Mve is for sale. Don't be a guy who doesn't have Mve in your house. Unotongwa nema salad. Imagine wafakachirwa. Nema bibaka nakaso. Utanza. Guys, ukono ishtanza wapakadaiga. Pasinewe, zidzoro. Ukono ishtanza wapakadai. And what's happening is, these days, women are getting more and more beautiful. Saka, I don't know, by the way, I said Shelly must call me and give me the numbers of her friends. That is amazing. Especially we are kapeka red. Ano father. Guys, kutamba hangu. Andivazivi kutamba hangu. Let's go one more look at Herod. Ndoga inini ndiri munahero wakudhara ndotanga sikaiti ndahero wakudhara ndahero wazvikuti pe nekutanga kwandoita vanhu muZimbabwe. So Manika Post, let's see if Manika Post is published while you're waiting for Herald to publish. Jennifer Ngadzinge vana muna asinga publish in time. Dzinga sunga. There is no one who is published at Manika Post. Anyway, who reads Manika Post? I don't think anyone does anymore. Imagine uneka newspaper can open once a week and unonoka publish a foot. Let's see Quietza. Saka, the whole week, what are you doing if you can't publish in time your newspaper? Quietza kwanzi ndakamwa doro nechipoko. That is the headline in the Herald today. In the Quietza today, Quietza newspaper. So guys, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover. Massive cover up taking place. Mnangagwa arikuuraya vanhu nenzara. Mnangagwa anoda Chematsenga Nzungu. Mnangagwa aka broker. Sean aka broker. Auxilia aka broker. Emerson Jr. aka broker. Kuda aka broker. There's a new Mnangagwa who is doing espionage, a lot of espionage work. Humphrey aka broker. Pasinawo vese vapana ava. Toa manyisa. Gambakwe, what's up with you blocking your top chat? No, I've never blocked anyone in my whole life. Like, honestly, I've never blocked anyone. I'll go into my block list now and remove everyone. Guys, people try to kill me. Like, literally in real life, people come and try to kill me. And do you think I'll block them? So what happened is Chibnam Court last week, there was a Mnangagwa set up an operation because he doesn't like what I'm doing with Nyoka. So he set up an operation where he put Kamgapana, so Kakashata, so there was a whole group of people talking to me. And then there was Kamgapana, Kafupi, so Kakashata, maybe about 20 meters away. Kakashata, Gambakwe, you know Guru. So I was shocked. This short, ugly boy is saying to me, Gamba went to Kuro. Guys, can you imagine that? So no banana that in Papa and towering into one to so. And then obvious after that, what they done, they wanted me to react in some sort of way. But do you know what you need? I didn't Basanazo. And Basanazo. Right, the chat replay does not show if you watch your last 2 videos. Sorry, I'm going to sort it out. I don't know what's going on. It's probably my, what do you call this, system. There's a new system that we're running and it's probably bad. I'll sort it out. So guys, I would like to thank all of you for watching. Massive cover up. Chiwenga must wake up. If he doesn't wake up, they will take him out. As this ball. We don't want Chiwenga to be taken or a pass to turn up a national heroes acre. But that is the plan. They want to take him out very quickly. And Mnangagwa is a master. 2 things that Mnangagwa knows. Information. Mnangagwa knows everything that is happening every day. So if you want to deal with Mnangagwa, there's only one solution. That is what you need to do. Because no plan that you're going to do is going to work. So you need Chema Tsenga Nzungu, Dokpezera Mdara Uyu, Amboro Anima Stars. And I actually row Anima Stars, Kamro Chema Tsenga Nzungu, Anita Stars. No only solution yake, Mnangagwa. As we say, that's why you can steal a phone or phones. But when you think about my phone, but you're going to some bag. You see, by the time we think Mnangagwa was stealing your phones, you're going to some bags. When the Mutara, Jenaka phone Zang Banana, Mnangagwa, Mufana, what, Pamuk phone a baby. That is Mnangagwa for you. Dara Uyu. Anita Shagawanda, Andy is got the technology. You could. You see, my phone is one of the biggest phones. I think 500 gig. Very few phones like that. I bought one of the specialized phones in South Africa. So cloning that phone, it needed a specialized software. So the first day I went there to visit this guy in government, they failed. So in the end, I thought the meeting is done. Tomorrow, please come here. We want to have another meeting. Because they failed to clone my phone the first day. The second day, that meeting was odd for me. What was that meeting? And when I had that meeting, they were cloning my phone for the second time. They just said, no, we don't allow phones. So leave your phone. Right, so I think I need to bring this to an end. Nothing new has come up as I was talking. I was trying to wait so that you guys can get more information. But unfortunately, nothing has come. Herald is still not published. Because I wanted to see what they're saying about Mini's phone. They haven't published it since yesterday. But maybe today they have something. Okay. Chamisa, you want me to check Chamisa's tweets? Let's see what Chamisa is saying. Chamisa, homeboy wangu. From my village, Chamisa's village. It's a walking distance. Just 4 hours of walking. So let's see what Nelson Chamisa is saying today. A nation founded on love. That was June 3. And then a pastor is speaking. He wants the Bible. The pastor has to speak about the Bible. And that is Chamisa's tweet. Go check it out. And then obviously, Shaka broker. Nothing else is working. Anna Traore Broker. Tambangu. Traora Rao Broker. Go check him out. He's posting on Machakaire. And then there has been a revelation about a visit to Nyoka Mabuni in jail. Go check out what happened when they visited Nyoka Mabuni in jail. Nyoka Mabuni is going to come out likely next week. So I'm giving back the responsibility to him. He'll be there now for everything to do with his legal case because he'll be there. Thank you very much, everyone, for watching. You can hear my alarm is ringing. And a good day to you all.